welcome to Cards TV.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your work at Oberthur Technologies.
Yes, my name is Majgaard. I'm originally Danish, but haven't been there for 20 years, so I'm probably more a child of the world by now. I've been in the Middle East for 2 years, where my job is to be the business director for our payment business unit in the Middle East.
Great. And obviously Oberthur Technologies is a very well-known company globally in both payments and identity. Can you tell us a bit about some of the exciting projects you've been working on across the globe?
Yeah. I think that what we are seeing right now is we are seeing borders disappearing between the mobile business, the payment business, the ID business. So a lot of what we have spent energy and time on is basically bridging the gaps here. So NFC, we have done major deals around the world. We have recently made a global agreement with Visa where our TSM infrastructure, a TSM is a trusted service manager, a piece of hardware and software that enables banks to communicate with the telephone over the air. We have done that. We have recently closed a deal with Samsung where a secure embedded element is put into the new Samsung S4 that also enables quick and easy uptake. So those could be a couple of the global examples. In our region, we have done things with QTel and QNB in Qatar. We are in the UAE, also very active. We have worked together with Etisalat MasterCard on this. And we have a couple of other interesting things which are about to go live, but which I can't talk about today.
Oh, we're looking forward to hearing about those next.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously you've just mentioned NFC, mobile payments, a very exciting topic at the moment. Can you tell us a bit about kind of the market here in the Middle East?
Yes.
Are we market ready for NFC and global mobile payments here?
What is very impressive in the Middle East is that there's a combination of strategy, understanding, and willingness to change. So due to the many changes that we have seen in a very short number of years, people here are very ready to do things. So if you look at the way technologies are picked up and also used to drive change, you actually will find that some of the things that we are talking about in Europe are being implemented here. So for a salesperson in the technical side, this is a very nice place to be. I'm personally very impressed with what is going on in the region generally.
That's great. That's really exciting. And I mean, obviously, you have worked on some exciting projects globally and regionally. And I think the one thing that we find that people are quite concerned about here is actually uptake. I mean, what do you think that your clients need to do to encourage mobile payments uptake in the region?
It's a very good question. I think that what we typically end up doing in our industry with the banks, with the operators, is focus very much on the technical side of things. And we forget about what it actually is that drives uptake. That's not a technical solution, that's customer experience. So I think that in order to really get uptake on these solutions, we need to make it easy and simple for the customers to do it. And I think that a couple of things are happening as we speak, you will be seeing.
Okay, great. As someone who lives here, I'll look forward to it then. And I mean, I've seen around the globe you've worked on a number of big projects. So, I mean, can you tell us what you've seen that has successfully in other projects around the globe encouraged customer uptake of mobile payments?
I think that the defining factors here are having partners that are big and strong and that put their shoulders behind it. Because having 500 cards hanging somewhere as a special implementation doesn't work. So we see some of the major mobile operators going in and basically going full blow. We see major banks that are also working on this. And this is actually one of the places where Oberthur over the recent years have spent a lot of energy on enabling global things rather than going local with everything. But of course, once we have those things, we are also very happy to talk to the local players and give them what is in the other markets as well.
What are the biggest challenges facing mobile payments in the Middle East?
For mobile payments in the Middle East, we have a terminal infrastructure that needs to be in place. So before people actually have places to go, that's one. Another one would be education of the retailers and their staff, so that when a customer comes in with a phone or with a contactless card or with a sticker or with a tag, then instead of trying to put it into the machine, then you basically do it in the right way. So there is a little bit of a learning curve, especially for the staff in the retailers.
Definitely, that's great. great. I mean, going back to kind of Oberthur as a business, I mean, one, I want to know kind of what's next for Oberthur in the payment space. What innovations are we going to see in the next year that you're allowed to talk about?
Yes.
And two, I want to know, what's driving innovation in the payment space for you?
I think that what we are seeing right now is we are seeing a consolidation in our industry, and this is because it's becoming increasingly a technology game. When we talked about Majgaard cards, a lot of companies, a lot of people would be able to do a Majgaard card and have it personalized. Then EMV came in, which is more complex and where you have to have chip competency, you have to have knowledge of how to do that. Now we are going contactless, and we are moving in between the white spaces, between the mobile operators, the banks, the governments, the retailers, the traffic companies. And to be in there, you need to thoroughly understand the processes and procedures that these customers are following, and you need to be able to make them talk without going back to changing core systems with huge investments, huge resource pools. So the key here now is to make the sort of white space accessible and easy to use. And this is something that we are very focused on as well.
And I mean, one of the big challenges globally has been obviously creating a consolidated and a coherent mobile payments ecosystem.
Yes.
And I mean, do you think that's going to be something we're going to see challenges with here, or is it easy?
I think there are two ways of looking at mobile payments. We have the NFC world, which is more coming from the banking side, and we have the mobile payment side, which comes from the operator side. I think those two will coexist. And we have seen, for instance, in a number of markets in Africa, how mobile payments on the mobile phone actually ends up being sort of, you can say, a whole ecosystem with a very large uptake. We haven't gotten quite there with NFC yet, but I think that we will, and I'm quite sure that in the coming year we'll see more sort of massive projects coming in the region as well as globally.
Great, well thank you so much, Peter, for your time today. It's been great, and we're looking forward to finding out a bit more about these secret projects in the next year.
You are welcome.